कभी सोचा है what is truly sealed away? Some moments, कुछ जायके, वो खुशबू and the touch of a mother's hand. हमें लगता है ये सिर्फ खाना है, लेकिन every taste carries weight, the weight of time, of distance. How do we cross oceans for just one bite? There are no secrets in this kitchen, only sacred recipes. Tell us wo chupa hua zaika, that hidden flavor that keeps the bond unbreakable, the essence that brings the Greek sun and the memory back to you, right here. Tell us the moment you want us to recreate. Ek Yaad, served on a platter.
So my earliest memories of Mykonos go back to 1995 when I went there with my family on a vacation. I don't remember the places very well, but I do remember the food. That was great. I remember having deep fried squid for the first time with my mother. And honestly, I don't think I've ever had it quite the same again. So I do hope Poppy has managed to achieve that level of crunchiness that I remember being there, and that freshness, you know, just by the sea and on the beach. So I think the reason I chose the lamb Kleftiko for Poppy to make was because, you know, it's one of my earliest memories of Mykonos. My mother told me, well, you have to try this meat. It's cooked very slowly and it's just sort of fall apart tender, and it was. And, you know, it had the Mediterranean spices. You know, growing up in Karachi, I probably had lamb with a lot of cumin, so it was different. And it was just so tender, and it was a very tender moment with my family in Mykonos. We were on holiday, and you know, it's one of my earliest memories of my mother getting excited about food. And yeah, I love it. I also remember swimming a lot in those days and getting a very deep tan and eating a lovely dip, like very refreshing and cool, called tarama salata. I'm not sure if that's on the menu today. It's made out of fish eggs, so maybe not. I do hope there's some tzatziki, that would be nice. Also very refreshing with the yogurt, I remember that. And a Kleftiko kebab. I had a Kleftiko, sorry, not a kebab. I think it's more like a lamb shank or a lamb shoulder. It's slow cooked and it just sort of fall apart tender meat. It was so good, and you know, spiced with the Mediterranean spices like rosemary, you know, oregano, stuff like that. And I remember sort of finding out that Kleftiko was named after klepto, which is to steal. So apparently, I think up till about the 18th, 19th century, Mykonos was occupied by, or Greece was occupied rather, by the Ottomans. And that empire ended about 1821. So the Greek nationalists would actually go and steal lambs or any kind of like poultry from the occupiers, and they would hide and cook that meat under the ground. So it would cook for several hours. You know, you wouldn't see any smoke, you couldn't smell anything really. And the result of cooking it in that sort of clandestine way after stealing it was that it was fall apart, like tender and just delicious. So I'm really looking forward to Poppy cooking that one. I do hope Poppy has some cheese today, because yeah, I could live on a diet of just bread and cheese.
As an addition, we created a lovely Greek yogurt side dish with some grated cucumber, some lemon, some dill, salt, and a little bit of parsley. This adds the freshness to the lamb, so it can juxtapose those heavy, earthy flavors, the acidity of the vinegars and lemons with the beautiful rice. Though you can serve anything with the Kleftiko, especially bread, I chose to go with the lemon rice because it would really bring out the flavors of the Mediterranean. It's a very simple recipe. You start with washing the rice and soaking it for about 15 to 20 minutes. To prep the rice, you heat about 3 tablespoons olive oil in a large saucepan, add the onions and garlic and saute for about 3 to 4 minutes until translucent. You don't want them to caramelize, you just want them to lose that sharpness and become slightly sweeter. You add lemon juice and a broth, a vegetable broth, a chicken broth, depending on what you like. You bring the liquid to a boil. It should reduce a little and then add in the rice. Cover and let it cook for about 20 minutes till the rice is done. Point to note, the liquid should be fully absorbed and the rice should be tender but not sticky. Kleftiko is a rustic Greek lamb recipe. In this recipe, we use a boneless leg of lamb, 2 medallions, which is much easier to work with. One thing to remember, we are again using dumba meat instead of lamb, as that is not available in Pakistan. For the lamb prep, we rub the medallions with chopped fresh garlic, dried herbs, oregano, thyme, parsley, a good pinch of salt, black pepper, drizzles of olive oil and Dijon mustard, which will allow the flavors to soak in. For the vegetable prep, which goes along with the lamb kleftiko, or in this case the medallions, we cut potatoes, red onions, white onions, bell peppers and tomatoes into large chunks or wedges. We keep the veggies in big pieces so they can withstand a longer cooking time. We season the veggies with the same dried herbs used for the lamb and a good pinch of salt and black pepper. We add vinegar, some lemon, and we layer the lamb on top in the pan and roast for about 2 hours till tender.
Lemon rice with a Kleftiko piece. Amazing. I can't wait. Yum, yum. Okay. So, I always forget. We start from the outside in, but this is the main, so I'll just take these guys.
Yes, exactly.
Lovely. So this is a Kleftiko. Let's see if it's fall apart tender, Poppy.
Let's hope so.
Oh, wow. It's divine. Look at that. Mmm. Sumptuous. Wow, Poppy, that is so good. It's taking me right back.
I'm so.
It's so good. I mean, it's fall apart tender. It tastes exactly like it would in Greece. It's really bringing back those memories of that night. Yeah, no, thank you for this. My mom would love this. If she's watching, she's probably a little jealous, but Mom, I'm enjoying it for both of us. And thank you, Poppy. Let me try some of this tzatziki, if you don't mind. Let's take that. Have you got a nice shot of that, sir? Let's do it. How amazing. It's not a particularly fatty meat.
No.
Or is it?
Yes and no. I tend to remove quite a bit of fat because I feel that that gives way too much of an aroma to the food.
And how long does this take to cook, Poppy? 3-4 hours?
If we cook on bone, and if we cooked on bone, I would have cooked it around 4 hours. But because I took it off bone and I made portions, so about an hour and a half. So not that bad.
And do you prefer cooking? Is that your cook's treat, like cooking on the bone, or not?
No, I think it can be done.
It can be done. Okay, okay. Honestly, you must not let anyone define your limits. The only limitation you have is your soul. So, you know, just anyone trying to be a chef out there, just keep on going and mix things up and take chances, because sure, anyone can cook, but only the brave can be great, like Poppy.
Ek Yaad, served. on a platter.